What's going on, guys? René Escobar Jr. here, and welcome to Soccerholics. I know we took a long hiatus, but we are back, and we're going to be talking about the best sport in the world, most importantly, the EPL. I'm not even going to talk about the intro anymore. Let's just jump right into it. First topic at hand, Paul Pogba and the transfer market. As we all know, Paul Pogba is a midfielder, playing in Juventus, was transferred to Manchester United, making his return because he played for the club earlier, for a now record 89 million British pounds. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that Paul Pogba was worth it? Because I certainly don't. Paul Pogba is not even in the top 10 of my list in the world's best players. You have Messi, Suarez, Neymar, Bale, Hazard, all these players that have done so much more on the field than Pogba, yet Pogba gets this massive payday. There's a statement by Van Gaal saying that if he was boss of Manchester United when they were about to sign Pogba, he would not have paid that money. I think Van Gaal is a crazy bat. I think he's batshit crazy. But you know what? He's absolutely right. Paul Pogba does not deserve this amount of money. Now, you're going to be saying, well, Paul Pogba, he's a fantastic player. How could you be saying that, René? How could you be saying that about Paul Pogba? Because he does the dabbing, and he does so many wonderful things on the field. But that's just it. That is why he's making so much money, because he is such a marketable face. His skill is abundant. We all know this. But the fact that he's out there having fun, kids want to be him. Kids want to have his haircut. Kids want to dance like him. But at the end of the day, how do you pay that amount of money for someone who's going to be dancing on the field and not giving you 150%? Like, there's 15 to 20 other players. I know I said before top 10. He's kind of just relegated himself to top 15 in the last 2 seconds. I apologize for that. In my opinion, Paul Pogba doesn't deserve this amount of money. Having said that, let's look at what he's done on the field for the teams that he has played. In Juventus, we'll skip Manchester United. In Juventus, yes, he did lead them to a Champions League final appearance. Yes, he did lead them to a couple of Serie A titles. And he did fantastic things for that club, especially with the exit of Pirlo. So he took over that midfield and anchored that midfield. However, does his performance, is it the same in France? Well, let's look at an example. What did he do? What did he do in Euro 2016? Did you see Pogba on the field? Because I certainly don't. I didn't see Pogba in the final against Portugal, against a Ronaldo-less Portugal. Did you? Because I certainly didn't. Can you say that he's worth 89 million British pounds for the performance that he put in that final? No, I would have given that money to what's his face, the Portuguese, the striker that scored. Come on, it's coming, René. The guy who scored in the 120th minute, 115th minute against France. Eder. Yeah, I would have given that money because at the end of the day, he went there and he performed when shit hit the fan. You might disagree. I really don't care if you disagree. But at the end of the day, he's not even a top 10 player. He dabs like the best of them. And the reason that he got paid so much, in my opinion, is because, again, he is a marketable player. He's the face of the game. At the end of the day, I'm only a host here at Soccerholics, and I'm no Nostradamus. I can't predict the future. So the only way that we're going to find out is how Pogba performs in Manchester United. So I guess we're going to have to watch the season and see. Okay, so we got Paul Pogba, who went from Juventus to Manchester United. Who else joined him in Manchester United? The greatest, entertaining, sophisticated, fantastic soccer player named Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He is now the number 9 at Manchester United, transferring from PSG. Now, there's been a lot of news and a lot of statements being made out there as to, what is Zlatan going to be doing for Manchester United. A lot of people are saying, well, that he's not the same Zlatan since he arrived to PSG, France being considered a lower not a lower league, but a league that's not nearly as competitive as, let's say, La Liga or the EPL. Having said that, he went to PSG, he destroyed PSG, destroyed the French league, won various championships with them, and now he's back to one of the more, the most competitive league in Europe, in Manchester United. How's he going to do? I think he's going to do fantastic, and this is for various reasons. Number one, I think Rooney's on his way out. I think that he's done fantastic things for Manchester United, but both club and country, the man's done. As soon as he got that toupee permanently put on his head, I don't see Wayne Rooney being the Wayne Rooney of old. And that's unfortunate because he is by far the greatest, well, people are going to kill me for this, but the greatest British striker of all time. I know you British fans are not going to like that one, but he is, in my opinion. But now you have a number 9 in Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He brings so much more than just his skills and his acrobats on the field. The funniest thing, the best part of Zlatan is off the field. You know, to me, La Liga has been a league that's been extremely viewed. Why? Because you have these entertaining figures. You have, you know, Ronaldo. You have Cristiano Ronaldo in Real Madrid. You have Leo Messi. You have Suarez that if you turn around and you don't look twice before you look at him, he'll bite you right in the middle of the forehead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to watch out for these things. And then you have Messi, who's, not Messi. You have Neymar, who is slowly, well, not slowly, but very, very in a very fast pace, becoming the face of the game. You know, now he took over Cristiano Ronaldo's position as a Nike poster boy, and slowly, like, you have all these figures in the Liga. But who does the EPL have that you can say, man, like, I want to watch that guy? Who? You know, Eden Hazard is a fantastic player. Is he consistent? I wouldn't say so. You have Coutinho in Liverpool, you have Rooney, you have all these fantastic players, but no one of that that weight. Now you have Ibra, who's finally back to say, you know what, I did these things in the French league, now I'm going to do it in the hardest league in the world. People are going to start watching this league even more because of Ibrahimovic. Not because of the things that he does on the field, but what the hell he's going to say after he scores, or like the antics that he's going to be doing during the field after he scores right in front of the goalie. You know what I'm saying? It's fantastic for the league. I think that the EPL, as competitive as it has been, and it continues to be the most competitive. If you look at a table 1 through first to last, any team can beat any other team any given day. That's fantastic, but to me, it's not. It does in popularity. It pales in comparison to La Liga. Let's face it. However, now you have Ibrahimovic, who's there for good. He's already scoring. Manchester won their first game today, and he scored a fantastic goal. I think it was like a few days ago with that amazing bicycle kick to start off the campaign. And you know what? Amazing. And I'm pretty sure, did he do like a weird ass interview already? Like he did
an amazing interview.
Yeah.
With Sky Sports.
With Sky Sports. Again, Ibrahimovic owning a reporter. Again, like I said about Paul Pogba, I'm no Nostradamus. I might have fantastic hair and scruff that you can only dream of, but I cannot predict the future. The only way that we're going to see whether Ibrahimovic is going to be fantastic at Manchester United is we're going to have to sit down and watch. It's far too early to tell. So the biggest news last year in the EPL was Leicester and how they won the championship over fantastic teams like Arsenal, Man U, you know, all these household names. Question is, are they going to repeat? No. No chance. You know, there's a snowball. I think they say there's a snowball's chance in Haiti for these guys to win and repeat as champions this year. And I'll tell you why. There's various reasons. I have nothing against Leicester. Absolutely nothing against Leicester. Like James Vardy, this guy came from like the 18th division. Now he's playing in the Premier League, and now he's playing for England. He's scoring fantastic goals. That's an amazing story. That's like a story that, you know, you want to watch a movie about. You know what I'm saying? That's fantastic. But I'm saying here, as a team, in comparison to the rest of the league, how is Leicester going to do? I think they'll crack the top 5. I really do. I think they're still a solid team. They didn't lose anybody huge. I think they lost a couple of players to a couple of transfers, but you know, they still have that remaining core that is going to continue on this season. However, this is day 1 of the season. Leicester just lost 2-1 to a newly promoted Hull City. How can you explain that? How can you fathom the fact that this team has trained for several months in the summer to train, to get better? They train to train. Yeah, that's fantastic, René. To get a whole lot better, and then they lose to the team that literally just came from the 2nd division. That's unacceptable. However, that's not even the main reason why I think Leicester's not going to repeat. The main reason Leicester's not going to repeat is because every other team has gotten so much better. Man U added players like Paul Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Have you heard of them? Man City, who's playing well. Arsenal, you know, what can you say about Arsenal? I'm sorry. No offense to all the Arsenal fans, but you know, they got trashed this weekend. Liverpool. Liverpool is playing unreal soccer right now. You know, you have Coutinho, Firmino. That I called this from, like, you know, as soon as Firmino was signed by Liverpool. That is going to be a duo that is soon to be unstoppable. Mark my words. Coutinho and Firmino, soon to be unstoppable. These guys aren't anywhere near their prime. Liverpool just might win the championship this year. Just throwing that out there. Who else? Tottenham. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about Tottenham. That's as awkward as Antonio Conte's interview with Chelsea, talking about the antics in locker room. So let's take a peek. I haven't seen this. I heard of it. My producer told me that there's a weird interview, and anything with Antonio Conte is weird. So let's just watch it real quick. There we go.
The habit that before the game there's the music in the changing room, no? And it's incredible because in Italy doesn't exist this situation.
What sort of music would you choose if it were to you?
Discotheque music, boom boom.
Okay, Jonathan.
Fantastic.
Oh, you got to give it to him. He's one weird guy, but he's funny, man. He's funny. Anyways, getting back to it. Leicester. So we do have an interview here that we can definitely show this. It was an interview right before the game. Oh, no, not right before the game. Before the season starts. And this is Ranieri talking about the Leicester odds of them repeating as champions. Now let's check out the logic behind what he has to say.
For this reason, I say 6,000 to 1.
6,000 to 1.
Bookmakers must do, because it's impossible. It's more difficult than last season.
Oh, he knows that. That's
more
true.
difficult. It's easier. The ET comes to.
Well, that
Piccadilly
reference
Circus.
right there, the ET arriving to Piccadilly Circus, that circus, that's an extremely particular comparison that he just made. So he knows how screwed he is. And now let's watch the post-match interview of Ranieri right after they lost to Hull City. I haven't seen this. My producer has very conveniently hooked me up with a link here, and we're going to watch it.
It was a difficult match for us. We start well. We created chances to score a goal, but at the end of the first half, we could see the goal for after a corner, and they were smarter than us. We drew the match, and we make a little mistake when we lost the ball.
He is not entertaining whatsoever.
The match is this because after we got nervous, we want to draw, and of course, Hull played very, very close, playing counter-attack, and we made a big effort, but individual effort, not
right.
like a team.
And I'm just going to pause it right there. That is a very big point because Leicester pride themselves on being a team. There's not, yes, you have Vardy up there that can do fantastic things along with a couple of other players, but their success is because of the way that they played as a team. And now that these guys won a championship, now their individuality is and their pride is calling them for do something more than they did last year. I'm a Leicester player. I won a championship. I can do so much more. And according to Ranieri, this is what cost them the game.
The first match is okay. It's normal when I said we are 70% and we have to grow up. But against Manchester, we played very, very.
Why are you talking about Manchester? Why?
As a team. Well, today a big effort, but not together. I think this is the key of the match. I said this year it will be harder, and we will lose a little more than last season. That is normal, but it's important to fight together, to go back as a team. That is my philosophy. I can say thank you to my players because the effort was amazing. We had to come back. Now arrive Arsenal, fantastic team, run up last season, but now is one of the favorites for the Premier League, and we must be together. We must play together. It's not important the result, it's important how we play.
So that was a pretty useless interview. He did touch upon, a couple of important things that, it's like your standard politician talk. Why are they bombing? Why are they throwing bombs in Syria? I don't know. They should. Perhaps. I'll give you a diplomatic answer. You know, that's exactly what Ranieri did. He didn't really say much. He didn't really blame anybody. But at the end of the day, he has his team's back, and he thinks that they're going to bounce back against Arsenal. That's fantastic. Wake up, Ranieri. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Get your head in the game. Again, for the third time in this segment, I will reiterate, as much as I look like Nostradamus, I'm not. So actually, I am Nostradamus. There's absolutely no way that Leicester's going to come out on top of this championship this year. It's not happening. My bet is on Liverpool, and you know what? Chelsea, I think, is due. I think is due for a championship. But I guess we're going to have to watch. So you're going to have to tune in and check out what happens the rest of the season.